Hello, my name is Dr. Justin Lawrence. I currently serve as a professor of criminal justice and as a Title IX administrator for Wayland Baptist University. My specialization is in educating and training student athletes regarding Title IX issues such as sexual misconduct, sexual assault, stalking, domestic violence, healthy relationships, consent, and incapacitation. In recent years, there's been an increased and long overdue focus in the United States on the devastating problem of sexual violence on college and university campuses. Sexual assault alone impacts approximately 1 in 5 female students and 1 in 16 male students. The problem only intensifies in college athletics as student athletes are 3 times more likely to be named in Title IX sexual misconduct complaints. In fact, a group of external investigators found that out of the 400 investigations they complete for schools each year, at least half of them involve allegations against student athletes. Combined years of past research on sexual assault in college athletes consistently show higher alcohol use among athletes, that male student athletes are historically overrepresented as offenders, that undergraduate athletes were 77% more likely to engage in sexual coercion than non-athletes, and that athletes reported less positive attitudes towards women and greater acceptance of rape myths. You must first understand the problem before you can solve the problem. We have too many people trying to solve something that they simply don't understand. Here are some answers given to this problem from Brett Sokolow, president of the Association of Title IX Coordinators. This aggressive kind of training and inclination that programs place on athletes to exert aggressive behavior, if that flows into their sexual lives, you're going to see more complaints coming out of that. Brett Sokolow also states that when students of any kind, athletes or not, tend to have consensual opportunities, it becomes more difficult for them to separate out what non-consent looks like, because everything for them seems to be consensual. And I think if you did studies, you see that student athletes probably have more sex than students who are not athletes in many cases. These are symptoms of the problem, but the ultimate issue is education and understanding. We cannot change what we don't understand, and we cannot change what we will not confront. It is my belief and experience that while student athletes receive mandatory training, all training is not created equally. Furthermore, with reports continuing to surface about student athletes violating sexual misconduct policies at schools all across the country, their understanding is at issue. Furthermore, too much time and attention is being directed at investigations instead of education. One school spent $4 million on investigations. We cannot fix this problem by having better investigations. In order to fix this problem, we must be proactive and not reactive. We must focus on education. Education is cheaper than investigations, and it takes less time than investigations. I have extensive experience working directly with student athletes all across the country and with the entire Texas Tech University Athletic Department, where I conduct their Title IX programming as it relates to student athletes, coaches, and athletic staff. I was recently interviewed by ESPN reporter Paula Levine for a study she was conducting for ESPN Outside the Lines on student athletes and sexual misconduct. The ESPN Outside the Lines study found that my client, Texas Tech University, have the lowest percentage of complaints against student athletes. I understand that each sport has a different dynamic and a different mindset. And because student athletes are more likely to ask questions if the other gender isn't there, my Title IX education sessions are separated by team and gender. Furthermore, my Title IX education presentations cater to each group's needs, culture, and background in order to promote an ultimate understanding. As a professor of criminal justice and Title IX administrator, I bring a very unique and powerful perspective to Title IX. My relatability to student athletes stems from the fact that each semester, over 70% of my students are student athletes. I know how they talk, I know how they think, because I interact with them and advise them on a daily basis. This allows me to provide comprehensive Title IX programs for student athletes that are designed to meet the ever-changing needs, questions, and challenges of our student athletes with promising and best practices that separate my programs from other programming offered across the country, through education, training, ongoing dialogue, and a deliberate shaping of student-athlete culture. Find out how you can help your athletic department comply with the continual and rapid changes of Title IX and help your student athletes successfully navigate the pitfalls of Title IX with programming from Dr. Justin Lawrence.